What is going on, Queen City Kayak Bass Fishing? It is me, Blaine Upton, here for Queen City West Event 3, the French Broad River, presented by Truesouth Custom Lures. We are going to get into the weigh-in here. It was a different day out there for the guys, but you know what? There were still some fish caught. We had 7 anglers, 6 fish caught. We did not have any 20 pluses today, but that does not mean that someone's not going home with a pretty good wad of cash for a Saturday on the water. Wanted to appreciate everyone that came out and fished today. Also wanted to give a shout out to Truesouth Custom Lures for bringing this event to these guys and Native and everybody that makes the West possible. The Western Division has been really cool to see because this is one of the few series that we see almost specifically spots and smallmouth get caught. It's really rare to see a largemouth in a Western event tournament. And I've really loved that so far, especially being on the judging end of some of these, is just seeing those really pretty fish come out of these clear, beautiful waters that they have in Western North Carolina, and seeing what these boys that come out of the West that takes all of everybody else's money can do. It's fun to see them pair up against each other and go at each other because, you know, it is some of the best, and that's why the West is here. So, without further ado, we're going to get into the weigh-in side of things. Once again, we did have, it was one of those days. Apparently, floodgates got open last night. The French Broad got rained on pretty good, and we ended up getting some really muddy water down through there today. I know even the Broad River in my area was extremely blown out, extremely brown, extremely muddy. So that made for some tough conditions for everybody that was out there today. So moving forward, we'll get into the first award here. Then we're going to get into big bass. Actually, no, we're going to get into small bass. We'll go small bass first. Let's see, the Green Solutions Group small bass with, honestly, it was judged as an 8-incher because the lines did not go up to 8 inches. So we just knew that we were going to judge it as an 8-incher. But 8-inch smallmouth going home with $20. The mountain boy himself, the mountain man, Mr. Jeremy Heath. How are you, bud?
I'm doing good, buddy. A little
Hey,
tired.
yeah, I hear you. A little bit of a drive, a little bit of paddling today, probably. A lot of pedaling, whatever you
No
did.
pedaling.
No pedaling, all with the
No
paddling.
pedaling. Dirty, shallow water, buddy, and lots of rocks.
Yep. Did you do it? Did you do a float?
Yeah. I went from I put in at one place and got out at the bottom.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
it was brutal.
Yeah, I hear conditions changed real quick out there. I heard it would just went from this nice, clear, perfect little river scenario to absolutely not.
Oh, it can change so fast.
Yeah, it
But
does.
it could have been unbelievable too, you know.
That's it. That's it. I was really excited to see a 20 plus smallmouth today. It didn't happen, but that doesn't
Oh,
mean that you guys aren't going home with money, and that doesn't mean the Broad River ain't what it is because I
yeah, they're
know
there.
we're no longer French down here. We get into the American Broad River, and it has some really good smallmouth in it, but it comes from what you guys have up there, and that's that clear mountain water, that beautiful, pristine, rocky stuff up there. And I can only imagine what they do up there and the colors they turn up there. So,
Oh yeah, they're beautiful.
well, what'd you catch your giant on today?
I caught my giant on a whopper flop.
Oh, Whopper Plopper. Oh, Whopper Plopper coming in clutch. Well, good
and
to see.
not even the smallest whopper plopper. Like it was a bigger whopper plopper, and I'm like, "What are you doing?
Oh
You
man,
can't eat that."
them little smallies get some aggression to them, man.
Oh,
They really do. Like they will pull. I will tell you, between striper and smallmouth, I swear they put their entire bodies into a topwater strike, and it is so much fun to be on the receiving end of, especially.
their eyes are so much bigger than their mouth.
They are. They
Oh,
are. Well,
I
man,
caught I caught probably four other fish that were around the 11-inch size. I was,
just not quite there. Just the minuscule amounts. One of the things you
and I
say.
caught a bunch of them on the Truth South spinnerbait too.
Well, that's awesome. You gotta love catching them on the event sponsors baits, man. Well, that
Seriously,
shows you what it can do even in tough conditions. You want to catch fish even when conditions seem impossible.
Mm-hmm.
That's the lures.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Gotta love that. Well, Jeremy, we appreciate you taking time out of your night. Congratulations on your small bass prize, buddy. At least you're going home
Appreciate
with
you
something
too,
for your
buddy.
night.
Good night, bud.
All right, man. Yep. Vinny will be in touch tomorrow.
Cool.
Always good to see winning fish caught on baits that the sponsor provides. So, if anybody didn't know, Truesouth Custom Lures, they do jigs, they do spinner baits, and they make some really good ones. I know I've got to restock. Personally, I fish with their jigs, and I've got 3 of them that I use religiously, and the paint are knocked off of every one of the heads. I don't know if y'all been seeing what the damage I've been doing at night has been, but a lot of it's been on a Truesouth jig. A lot of it has. So that is one thing to look into. If you don't have Truesouth in your tackle box, they are a supporter of Queen City. You know our motto here: support those who support us, and give them a shout because Truesouth makes some awesome stuff. So continuing on, we will get into the final caching spot here because this man won the rest of everything. He wins first place, he wins Big Bass, the discount tire Big Bass prize going home with $100. The True South Custom Lures French Broad Tournament first place going home with $400 for a grand prize of $500 against 6 other hammers, and taking home it is going to be Mr. Mike Hicks.
What's up, buddy?
Man, you wrapping up some AOY points. You wrapping up a big bass prize. You wrapping up a win today against some really tough conditions. And that speaks a lot to the angler that you are. Man, good job today.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah, I was in Indianapolis all week. I had my church conference up there, and then I drove home yesterday and wasn't really going to fish the tournament, but I decided to jump in at the last minute, especially since I seen how many points would be available. I just knew if I just could get a decent limit, I would be up there. So. But yeah, it was tough. It was tough today. I caught one first thing this in the morning on the whopper plopper, the largemouth, the actually big I caught, and then from there, uh, it seemed like the river muddied up. It got this nasty looking foam on top of it, and so I went to I put a jackhammer on and just fished chatterbait the rest of the day.
Yep. No, man, that tends to be how it is. If you get into that really muddy, blown out conditions, you've got to be loud. And that is one thing you do well. I've seen your videos on TikTok. I've seen your videos on everything that you do on when you fish a jackhammer and you fish a chatterbait, you fish it different than a lot of people that I know. It is not a slow roll. You're up there throwing it as many times as you can and you roll through some stuff. So that is something unique to the way you fish and something that I found that no matter what, if I'm in the front of a boat and someone's in the back, or I'm fishing next to somebody in a kayak, just because I'm throwing something doesn't mean that they can do it the same way and do it as well as I can. And that speaks a lot, once again, to the angler that you are and the way that you show yourself, man. You're a hammer whenever everything gets tough. You really are. So
I appreciate it, buddy. I just like I said, I just try to I probably learned that as much from Jeremy as I learned from anybody because, I mean, he'll cast 10,000 times a day, and that's what I've learned to do is just you got to keep your bait in the water and
you know,
and
my
never.
granddad always said you can't catch them if your hook's not in the
That's
water.
that's right. I mean, and at the end of the day, my shoulders wore out, my arms wore out, but I'm on. I do love fishing jackhammer. So if I get a bite or two on it, then I'm comfortable fishing it. So, um, but yeah, it was a good day today. Like I said, it was a weird day. It was a tough day. I did have one big smallmouth on a crankbait. I decided to throw a chartreuse crankbait for a little while, and like I said, I caught a couple small ones on it, but then I had a really good one on it, and somehow he come off. It was just a weird day.
Yeah, and I feel like it was like that across the board. We're not going to sit here and act like the numbers didn't show that it was tough, but at the end of the day, you've got to deal with the conditions that are put in front of you, and that makes the angler. So you see a lot of guys, if you get discouraged by those conditions, it can ruin your day. If you can keep your head down and do what you were made to do, adapt and overcome, that's when you see true good anglers shine, and here it is
Yeah.
today. So
Well, I learned, when I first started fishing with Vinny, 10 or 11 o'clock, and I didn't have a bite, I'd start getting spun out, and that showed in my fishing because my results were horrible. But I've learned, Blaine, in the last few years, a lot can happen even in 10 minutes. So you just
yeah,
got to stay positive and just know that, you got to be confident in yourself and know what you're doing is the right thing. And if you do that, just like the win I got at the Yak and Yolo, I caught that 21 incher with, I think it was like 4 minutes left. So
yep,
you
it
never
can
know
all
what.
happen. Yep, 100%.
I appreciate you, and Truesouth. I fish a lot of. I got a box full of Truesouth jigs. I love that spinnerbait they make. It's the best. It's I would say it's the best spinnerbait on the market. It's just it will catch fish anywhere, anytime. And dummy me, I walked off this morning and left my whole spinnerbait box at home, so I had no spinnerbait. Of course, Jeremy told me, he said, if you need one, I'll give you one. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna fish with what I got,
Yeah.
and I love the river. I take just a few poles, few combos with me, and you don't got all that junk, and you just it's just river fishing.
Yeah, there's something about the purism of river fishing that just I love, man. And that's it. I would rather catch 22 pounders off the river in a day than 10 5-pounders on the lake. Like it's just one
Yeah,
of those moving water fish have an attitude to them.
yeah, absolutely. It's just a running water, and I don't know if you remember a few years ago we had it was a Palmetto event, and I flipped my old town in
I
the
remember
river.
that.
Yeah, and I lost a lot of stuff, and I was scared for a while. But I got a riverboat now, and it paddle. I mean, I don't use no pedals. It's all paddle, but I'm confident in that thing. I'm comfortable in it, and it's just a little Jackson Coosa riverboat, and I love it, man.
Yeah, and that's the important part is your vessel. I mean, everybody gets scared of moving water, but your vessel plays a huge part in
Yeah,
that. I remember my new canoe Flint, man, whenever I had it, it was my favorite riverboat. And I mean, I've had a small native for river fishing. I've had a couple of boats for river fishing, but my whole thing is as long as I can maneuver it really well and I can turn on a dime in certain boats and being as long and tall as I am, and as long as that's there, man, it is A1. So
absolutely,
it
absolutely.
has a lot to play with putting yourself in position to make a really accurate cast and being able to catch those fish in those current breaks. So
Absolutely. Yeah, because you got to. I mean, that's another thing people don't understand about river fishing, man. There's places that fish set up, and like you said, in the current breaks, and you got to hit those just right. And if you do, it can be money.
and man, that's it. They'll set up in that much water. I mean, it,
No,
it
no,
really is wild. Wild. It's
I
wild.
know that largemouth I caught first thing this morning. It was dirt shallow. It was just in a just one of those river eddies that was dead and current all around it. And I mean, he was just laying there. I mean, you could, if you'd have looked hard enough, probably seen him, but
Yeah,
I didn't.
exactly. Exactly. Well, Mike, congratulations on an awesome day. Congratulations on Saturday of taking home some money. And we look forward to seeing you on the next one because I know we will.
Oh yeah, I'll be there, buddy. And I appreciate you, appreciate Vinny and all y'all do, and giving us this platform to fish, man. And I just thank the Lord that He gives me the ability to fish and blesses me every day, and with a good life, family, and I appreciate it, buddy.
Gotta love it, man. Well, I'm gonna put you backstage. If you want to hang around, go ahead. If you need to go, you go right on. So we
Thank you,
appreciate you
brother.
coming out today.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Well, that is awesome. Mike Hicks taking home the win in Big Bass today on the French Broad River, presented by Truesouth Custom Lures. We thank all our sponsors here at Queen City Kayak Bass Fishing, Native Watercraft Big Adventures. We thank Academy and Boondocks. We thank Truesouth for bringing this tournament to you. We thank Vinny Ferrari for being the most awesome commish there is. And we thank every angler personally for coming out and being with us. And we look forward to the next event and the TOC coming up. So, guys, I hope everyone has an awesome night. We appreciate y'all coming out today. And as always, good night, Queen City.